Hey, I'm Mike Shinoda, and you are listening to the Rock Sound Podcast.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Rock Sound Podcast. I'm your host, James Wilson Taylor, and our guest this week is Mr. Mike Shinoda. Yes, he dropped his album Post Traumatic earlier this year. We talked to him about working on that, all the collabs on that album, and what we can expect from him in the near future, so stay tuned for that. Plus, playing this week's game of Translate the Lyric are Sammie and Boots from Waster, putting all their lyrics through Google Translate into a variety of different languages, and they have to figure out what the original lyric was. Lots of fun there. And doing our last time interview this week, it's Carter and Courtney, aka Chapel. So we'll find out about the first gigs they ever went to and the first albums they ever bought, as well as what they are currently listening to right now. Stick around for all of that. And don't forget, guys, the current issue of Rock Sound is available right now, featuring Chase Atlantic. It's their first ever magazine cover, featuring a full interview and a brand new photo shoot. Head right now over to shop.rocksound.tv to pick up your copy. Right, let's kick things off, shall we, with this week's special guest. Here he is, in conversation, Mr. Mike Shinoda. Hi, it's James Wilson Taylor here for Rock Sound in the very, very swanky surroundings of Cafe Royal, joined now by, of course, Mr. Mike Shinoda. How are you, sir?
Thank you.
Yeah,
happy to be here.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man. And congratulations, of course. The album is now finally out. We've already chatted to you a little bit in the magazine about it. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that was a really nice takeaway, you said how it was quite a cathartic experience, as you might imagine, writing it and putting it all out there. Now that it's all out there and in the public, how are you feeling about those songs and the reactions from fans?
It's great. It's really nice, and it's like almost like I hoped, to some degree, like I hoped that it would have this connection with people in their, not just like my story, not just like what happened in the last year, but in their story. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's actually been happening. So it's always a good feeling. Yeah, nice. Real connections coming through there, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, it's part of it is because I've done a couple shows now, and the shows. There, I play a little bit of I play the new stuff. I play a little bit of Fort Minor, a couple Linkin Park things, and the shows are fun, and they also have like a weight to them, like a gravity to them. Right. It's like a little more than a little something else, which is nice. No, that's really nice to hear, actually. I was going to mention that, actually, as well. From what I've seen of the live shows, particularly online, particularly the K-Rock one, actually. What was a really nice moment? You allude to, you play a couple of Linkin Park songs in there, and I guess while that could have been quite a somber moment, it seems to almost be a celebration, like particularly in the end. I mean, did that reaction surprise you at all? I mean, it's a wonderful thing to see, really. I don't think it surprised me, but it was, I think it was better than I thought. Yeah. And the other day I played a really small, it was like a 600 capacity venue in New York, and it was very, it was even more energetic than the K-Rock one. It was very, in the end, was very energetic that night. And it's something that I'm as I play more shows, it's a whole new experience. I mean, first of all, just doing stuff on my own is there's a lot of newness to it. It just it's actually the surprises around every corner, which is kind of keeps it exciting, and it's also open for a lot of spontaneity. Nice. Yeah. No, it's exciting to hear. How did you select, particularly the Linkin Park and Fort Minor songs? How did you select which ones you were going to do in this new era? It's still changing. Like I've got more songs right now. I've got more songs than I can really put in the set, like in terms of what I'm ready to play or what I want to play. Right. Which is nice. And I've been playing it by ear. But yeah, some of the songs are in there because they're fan favorites and they're some of the popular stuff. Other ones like Kenji, for example, I added in because I feel like, especially in the U.S. shows, things like the immigration issues are a big deal right now, and that song is all about in World War II, my family and all of the Japanese on the West Coast were sent to internment camps in the U.S. So it's topically like relevant.
Yeah, absolutely. God, that's fascinating, actually. Do you see there being more political undertones then in the show potentially moving forward? Or?
Well, I mean, it's just that, there are, when it seems appropriate, when it's something that I feel like I want to talk about, I brought it in a little bit. Like I have another song that's a Linkin Park track called Hands Held High, which was kind of almost like a stream of consciousness rant under the when Bush was George W. was president, and I was the other night I was just feeling that, and so I played those two songs back to back. I did the Hands Held High verse a cappella, and then I played Kenji. And part of it is just like being on Twitter that day and reading it and going like, oh my God, this is like so insane. And then other times it's about, it is just about like kind of going through certain things during the day and wanting to play certain songs. It's a, being in a band, you don't get to do as much of that.
Right.
Because if you've got 6 people in a band, if one or two of them isn't prepared to play a song, then you just can't play it. I could want to play. I could text everybody that day and say, guys, like, I really want to play this song this day because, blah blah blah. Like, please, can you be ready to play it tonight? And if the guys can't, if our drummer doesn't have his drums in the room, obviously, then the answer is probably no.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Bit of freedom, I suppose, then. I guess that's the thing. It's a bit of freedom in the atmosphere. Let's talk more about the album as well, because what has been nice to see, you have explored, I suppose, quite a few new sounds, and a few new sounds influenced by newer artists, I suppose. I want to talk about some collabs in particular. How did the Black Bear collab come about, first of all?
I had reached out to Black Bear back when we were recording One More Light, and he actually was a co-writer on Sorry for Now off the One More Light record. So we had worked on, we had played around with a couple ideas then, and when I reached out to him this time, it was like, just felt pretty obvious.
Yeah. Yeah. You were clearly keen to work with him again then after that positive studio experience.
Yeah. Well, he's really talented, and he was, at the time when we did About You, he was working on some of his stuff with a couple of producers who go by the name Basecamp, and Basecamp was in town to do his stuff. And so he was like, you gotta get these guys to, like, let's put them in on the song too. So basically the production and like the outro of the song, that's more them than me. And that's one of the few moments on the record when somebody else kind of took over in terms of the production, because most of it, like 95% of the record is my production.
No, that's interesting though. Nice collaborations in there. Let's talk about the grandson moment as well.
Yeah.
What a fantastic new artist. How did you come about working with him?
I just found him on a playlist, honestly, and it was funny because I oftentimes I'm every Friday I'm looking at new music and looking to see what's out, and a lot of times finding stuff that's pretty unknown.
Yeah.
And I tend to like stuff that's off the beaten path more than the popular stuff. It's just I don't know what it is. And I found his stuff, and I followed him on social media, and he like DM'd me immediately.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was like, dude, I'm such a fan. This is like so crazy that you followed me. Like, what's up?
Oh, that's so sweet.
And it turned out that he lives like 15 minutes away from me in LA. So I was like, well, let's just go get lunch. And we ended up hanging out a while, and the song was just like a natural thing to do. But to me, like I with the aesthetic / dynamic of Linkin Park, you have like a lot less room to do that. I feel like, for at least it's been my experience. Like, we haven't done as much of that, especially with smaller artists. And like sometimes I'll suggest artists to the band, and it would be, like they weren't that interested.
Right.
Like, other people aren't interested because it's like some random, artist that nobody's heard of. So like, why would we work with that person? Like, they've got literally like 50,000 followers. The band has a bajillion on.
More than that. Yes.
Yeah. And Yeah, so for me on my own, like that's one thing about like doing stuff on my own. Obviously, number one, I decided to do it on my own because the album is a very personal album. Number two, I did it on my own because there's a level of like control that I wanted to have over it to make sure that it looked and sounded and felt a certain way. But the third thing is spontaneity. Like just if I decide right now that like, okay, like I want this to be my music video.
Right.
Or like whatever the next
I'm into
song.
it. Let's do it.
Yeah, we can just get this footage and then put the track over top of it.
I'm going to hold you to that now.
That would be like that is possible. If that's what I want to do, then that's what we do.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of fun.
That's really lovely to hear. Really kind of freeing. Speaking of all these collaborations as well, we saw you got our dear friend at Rock Sound, Taka, up on stage with you very recently, which was awesome. I guess you guys have probably known each other for a little while. Do we think there'll be any more studio time, perhaps, with Taka?
I don't know. I mean, it remains to be seen. I know he's an incredible singer and a very sweet guy, by the way, like an awesome guy. And I did see him the last time he came to LA. So, things are still, we talk. We'll see. I don't have a song in my pocket that I can play.
Sure, so. I'm sure. Yeah, we keep our fingers crossed, though. Big fans of both you guys. Mike, it's been absolutely lovely talking to you. Final question for you. I just want to focus on the future, really. What are the goals and the ambitions moving forward to 2019 and beyond with this solo career? Like, what would you like to achieve next?
The main focus for me right now is to explore all the things that I can explore with it. And that sounds really almost like I'm evading the question, but the truth is that it's a journey without a goal. Like if there are goals, they're so simple that they almost would seem like boring. Like a goal would be to feel like I know what my live set is supposed to look and feel like. Like right now, it's still changing a lot, and I'm still, just as an artist and a person who likes to get things right. Like I feel like I'm still figuring out what it's supposed to be. Obviously, we're still like promoting the music and still getting it out there to people. I think that there's some people that are actually scared to listen to post-traumatic because it sounds like dark or it sounds heavy, which can be the case. But I feel like what they need to know is the album may start there, but it doesn't end there. That as it goes, it's like a diary. And this year it started in a dark place, but it ended in a place that's more light and open. So the album does that. So the more I can spread the word of that, and hopefully that's a message of hope to fans and I should say old fans and people that potentially are fans.
Yeah.
And other than that, I'm open to suggestions. So just hit me up on social media and let me know what I ought to be doing.
Send in a few tweets. See what we want next. Mike Shinoda, lovely to see you, man.
Thanks very much.
Our thanks again to Mike Shinoda for sitting down with us, and if you want to see even more bonus footage from that particular chat, including him looking back at Linkin Park's legendary surprise Warped Tour performance from a few years back, head right now over to the YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/Rock Sound Magazine. Time now, though, for this week's game of Translate the Lyric, featuring Sammie and Boots from Waster. They've just dropped their brand new single, Crisis. The album's on the way. We really, really love it. Here's how this game works. We took some Waster lyrics, we put them through Google Translate into French, into Italian, into German, and into Spanish. All they have to do is tell us which Waster song it's originally from. Sounds nice and simple, right? Let's see how they get on, shall we? Here now, from Waster, it's Sammie and Boots. Hi guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Rock Sound, joined now by two of the lads from Waster. It's Sammie and Boots. How are you guys?
Good, man.
Yeah, good to see you. Right, so we're going to play a little game we like to play with lots of bands called Translate the Lyric. Very, very simple. I have taken some Waster lyrics, I have put them through Google Translate into a variety of languages. You just have to tell me which lyric it is, which song those lyrics are from, okay? Makes sense? Makes sense? Yeah. How are you with foreign languages? Did you do much at school or anything?
I'm fluent in Welsh, if that helps.
Sadly not on the list. I do apologise.
I didn't do much at school, to be fair. So
well, we'll see how you get on anyway. Here we go. Here is the magic list. You guys hold that between you. There you go. First one is in French. Why don't you attempt to read that out into the mic, and we'll see how you get on. Yeah, go for it.
Les mots dans la rue dit que je suis mauvais pour l'eau.
Not bad. Not a bad attempt. Right. Do we have any ideas? I can give you clues if you need them, but what's your initial thoughts?
What does just suis mean?
Je suis, isn't that something you? Is je suis you?
That narrows it down.
It's more like I. It's I. Well, I think you know what. My clue I'll give you. La rue. Do you know what that means in French? You ever been on holiday to France and you've been driving down La Rue? Anything like that?
Never been on holiday, but we've been to France a lot. La Rue.
Rue is street. There's your clue.
Street.
Okay.
No.
I thought we had one there.
I've got an idea.
Go on, have a pop, have a pop.
And this is all off the new album, yeah?
This is all eras, but maybe that one's more recent if that's what you're leaning towards.
Street.
Long walks, late nights, we'd always find a street light.
I'm afraid not. Have another go. Go on. Another use of the word street, perhaps in a more recent song.
More recent.
Oh, it's like new record too.
It can be both. It can be both. Well, what have people heard of the new record? Perhaps they've heard of a single. God, I'm really giving away clues now.
Word on the street says I'm bad to the bone.
I'm going to give you that because it took a while, but I'm
no
going to give you it.
there
There we go. No clues. No cheating at all. That's the French one.
So is
not bad.
Is that a point?
I mean, I'll give you half a point. How about that? I helped you, but I'll allow it.
Were there prizes in this one?
Not in this one, please. Great. With that performance,
We're not
you
getting
wish.
a
Come on,
prize,
let you get a prize in that one. Try Italian. How's your Italian? Read out that one. Let's see how you get on.
Do you want to read out this one? You got to do the accent.
No, I can't do an accent.
You got to.
One canzonette nella mi pelle.
Nice.
Pele, that's he's a footballer, isn't he?
Player, yeah.
Not with the double L, it's
No.
not. But yeah.
True.
What are we going for, guys?
That word looks like inconstantanate.
What's Mia? Mamma Mia. What does that mean?
Don't know, but I don't know. I don't know what that means. Like.
Do you want Mia?
Mia.
Mia's my. Mia is my.
That word looks like the main word.
In
whatever that is.
castanate,
It looks like
I think that is the main word. What could that mean? It could sound like encased or some other word that means similar to that, maybe. I don't know. Encased or embedded. There's your clue.
Yeah.
Footprints embedded in my skin.
That's 2 for 2. There we go. I'll help you out. It's fine.
We're not going to get any of these without a cue.
Matter. Right, okay. Let's try German. How's your German? You ever been to Germany for an extended period of time? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the time.
Have a go reading that. I'm going to come back to you, Sammie, on this one. Read that one out.
This is just like, I don't know. Does this sound... I can't do a German accent.
You don't need to.
Do the accent. Just try and read
Du
that
bist so esto besser dra ochne mich.
That's not bad. That is not bad pronunciation at all.
Really?
Right. Any guesses? What are we
I
thinking?
don't know what.
Absolutely
One
no
of those
idea.
I'll be honest, this is the hardest one. That is
Ochne.
true. It's the hardest one. I don't even know what clue to give you.
It sounds so Rammstein.
So yes. Stupid.
Ochne mich.
I actually don't think I've ever seen any of those words
Do.
before.
I've seen do.
Maybe that one.
I don't know what it means though.
Shall I give you?
No, Dankeschön.
Shall I put you out of your misery with this one? I think
No,
we're gonna
no,
have to.
Give us a clue. Come on
What
now.
does do mean?
Do means your.
Okay.
Great.
Your.
What does this word mean?
Potentially without, but don't quote me on that.
You're better off without me anyway.
Okay, we'll give you that. There we go. German.
Fair. That
German
was
lyric.
good.
Well
That
done.
was good.
It was speedy in the end. You came in
Yeah.
quick with the final. All right,
Yeah.
final one. Final one. How do you feel about Spanish, guys? How do you feel about that?
The same as the rest of me.
Okay, we'll try it out. Let's see how we get
I was
on.
born in Wales, can't speak a word
on.
of Welsh, so I struggle with English badly.
Okay, try it out. Try it out. What are we thinking?
Como un peso pluma.
Right.
Pluma.
What are we going with?
Well, it's only 4
Come,
words.
like come here. Is that come?
Afraid not.
No.
Como.
What are
Pesto.
we thinking?
Pesto.
Pesto, yeah. That's
You always sing about
I'm
pesto.
thinking
Wish.
pesto and...
Your ode to pesto
Puma.
always goes down.
I'm
strong.
thinking... I thought Pumbaa from The Lion King, to be honest. Un. What does un mean? What?
No, that would be an unos dos. No, that would un. I don't know. I thought it might be one.
Is just like a.
A. Oh, well, that
Yeah.
narrows it down.
Would you like a clue?
I'm scatterbrained. I'm a mess.
I'm afraid I'm going to put you out of your misery. It was just like a featherweight. There you go.
There you go.
You can use that one next time you
Heavy.
go to Spain. This is the big question we always finish with as well. If you had to pick any of those to do in a European country, which do you think would sound best if you had to change the lyric?
I've forgotten what these all were.
Well,
that was
to be honest,
It's the best answer.
was that footprints embedded in my skin?
Yes, it was.
what was that one?
Orne and constant to Nah, it doesn't fit.
What?
You gave it a go, though.
Du bist so erst besser der auch nämlich German.
Okay, we'll go with the German one.
German.
Keep an eye out next time they're playing a gig in Germany. You never know.
Yeah, we're saying that.
It makes it sound so harsh.
You know what? I'm gonna give you 3 out of 4, even though you had a bit of help, which is respectable as a score. Guys, always good to see you. Great for everybody. Thanks to Sammie and Boots from Wasted there, and if you want to hear their new single Crisis and loads of other great new music updated every single Friday, go and subscribe on Spotify to the Rock Sound chart. Just search for Rock Sound on Spotify and click subscribe on that one. Like I say, updated with all the biggest new music from our world every single week. Time now for this week's edition of First Time Last Time, and it is featuring Chapel. Their album Sunday Brunch came out in 2017. You might have seen them on tour recently as well, with the likes of Sleeping with Sirens through Europe. So we caught up with them to get to know them a little bit better and find out about their first ever gigs, their most recent gigs they've been going to, and what they're currently listening to, as well as those always important first ever album purchases. So without any further ado, here now are Carter and Courtney, aka Chapel. Back on the Rock Sound podcast, guys. We are joined now by Carter and Courtney, aka Chapel. How are you guys?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Hey. Hello, lovely to see you. So we play a game on the podcast. This is called First Time Last Time. Very, very simple. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put out a situation. You tell me the first time you did it and the last time or the most recent time you did that thing. All right, makes sense?
All right, let's
nice
do it.
and simple. Nice and simple. All right, so the first one is a very easy one. The first album you ever bought and the last album you ever bought.
I think the first one that pops in my head is Motion City soundtrack. Yes, everything's all right. So good. Last one? Oh, shit. I don't know.
Streaming counts, by the way. It doesn't. Well,
counts.
It's 2018. I'll allow you like the last album you downloaded or whatever.
Downloaded.
Pre-saved.
Pre-saved. Very good.
The first one that
Very
pops in my
modern.
head was Bleachers, Gone Now.
Oh my god.
That's a great
What the heck? I was just, first record I ever got was Taking Back Sunday, A Decade Under the Influence. And my mom made me return it because she was like, you can't buy this. But I rebought it again the next week.
Very good.
And then last one, I bought the Gone Now from Bleachers, the vinyl. I bought that like 2 months ago. So, yeah.
That's
that's crazy.
Cool. Nice. All right, first gig, and you can't count your own show. So first gig you ever went to, and the last gig you ever went to by somebody else.
The first like real concert I ever went to was Paramore in Jimmy Eat World.
Oh my God, that's a
setting the bar very high. Jeez. Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Man.
Last one. What's that show I went to?
Yeah, you can't have been playing.
Yeah,
that does not count. You were on the lineup. We cannot allow that. Yeah.
Come back to me super quick.
Okay.
First one was Backstreet Boys. I was 6, and it was in Tampa, Florida. I don't remember any of it.
But that's like peak Backstreet Boys era, though, surely, right?
Yeah, I thought the dude's name was Aaron Carter, and my name's Carter, so I felt like I was connected to him.
Yeah, definitely.
I was so dumb.
That's amazing.
Thank you. And then the last one, this band called Judah and the Lion, I saw like 4 weeks ago in Atlanta. They were great.
They're really cool.
They sold out some like 3,000 cap venue in Atlanta, and it was amazing. So,
awesome.
Do you remember?
I do. It's nothing too cool, but I had a good time. It was Bad Fish, which is the Sublime tribute band with my uncle. It was super dope.
Cool stuff. All right, that's a good choice. That's some very impressive choices. There's another musical one we'll do. What was the first song you ever learned to play, and the most recent song you learned to play that's not by you?
Ooh, the first song I ever learned to play was Reliant K. What's that? What's the like hit? No, that's
I love that song.
Off one of their first records, I totally can't think of it right now. And last song I learned how to play was our entire record.
Yeah, do you ever play around with other people's songs these days? Ever?
Yeah, I used to do a bunch of drum covers when I had a kit at my house, but unfortunately my kit is down south with him, so I haven't been doing the whole cover thing recently, but I'm trying to get back into that. I'll say just August Burns Red.
Oh, cool.
I love playing along to their songs. It's
nice.
very hard, and yeah.
That's cool.
First song I learned to play was "What's My Age Again" on guitar.
That's an impressive first one to pick up on
It
guitar.
wasn't good. It wasn't good.
All right,
no, I really thought it was great.
That's a caveat. Fair enough.
Yeah. And then and then the last one was Redbone by Childish Gambino.
Yes.
I just wanted to know how to play the lead line because it's so cool.
That riff is outrageous.
Yeah. So now I only play that when we sound check. So,
That's very.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Right, I want to catch a sound check later on as well. That's really cool. Thanks again to Chapel for sitting down with us, and if you want to see our full chat with them, again, just head right over to the YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/Rock Sound Magazine for loads more great stuff with them. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. Until then, do go and subscribe over on iTunes, over on SoundCloud, over on Spotify, or on your favorite podcast app. I am James Wilson Taylor, and we will see you next week.